Okay, we are back. Sean and Spin in the Morning, episode 37 on a Friday, July 18th. As now, this is the first day back of baseball after our little break that we had. All-Star break was fun, but you know what else is fun, Sean? What's up ahead? What we have up ahead here between trade deadline stuff, second half stuff, how the playoff picture is going to present itself. I mean, obviously, that's a long ways down the road, but those are the things we have to look forward to. But meanwhile, today, how are we feeling on a Friday?
Feel good. Boys are going to be in Philly live later. I'm excited to go. First day back. Beautiful day on the East Coast to go watch some baseball. All-Star break, good, done. Everybody got their rest. Now we're ready who's going to shoot up, who's going to shoot down, who's going to stay the same, and who's just going to plain flat out suck. We're going to come at you today with a little power rankings, our first half power rankings, talk about it. And our favorite time of the year is coming up, trade deadline, baby. We've done a lot of trade deadline talk already, but look for that to come in the future as well.
I love it. Let's cruise into our vibe check. I don't have too many things to get into today, but between our power rankings and, of course, our Wet Hot American Weekend, we're going to have plenty to talk about. However, I did just get a notification from, the MLB app, and it was, what all the 30 teams need to, do in the second half or something like that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a good little thing. That would have been cool. But who cares? We have our version of that shit as we kind of get in because we'll probably talk about that in power rankings. We'll see who the good, the bad, the ugly with where teams stand currently. Before that, though, we are on Spotify, so there's a little announcement. Our last episode was on Spotify, so you can listen to us live on YouTube on the same dates on the same times and days that we've been doing all year long. And then we have a Spotify show that comes out too. So if you get kind of if your girl's there and you're like, oh, I don't want to put them on the screen because she might get her fucking panties all wet, then you can just listen, and you can just listen to us on Spotify, and then you don't have to really worry about that. And then that's the good thing about Spotify. The second good thing is the Freddie Freeman documentary Driven came out. They were advertising that over the All-Star festivities. I don't know if you heard about this, but Freddie Freeman documentary called Driven, and I think it aired yesterday. I don't know if it aired yesterday. I think it did, but it was a damn good documentary. If anyone didn't have a chance to see it yet, go watch it.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, 10 out of 10. I was just fucking around on MLB Network, and they just aired it on MLB Network, and I was like, oh, I'll stay for a while. I ended up watching the whole thing. It was spectacular.
Well, both of us have talked about in the past, I'm so glad Freddie Freeman isn't on the Braves anymore but I mean, I hate that he's on the Dodgers, but I still love Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
He's just he's Mr. Consistent every single year, time and time again. This guy never fails. He never fails. Should be an all-star every year. And he doesn't get the love he really deserves because he's honestly I don't want to say underrated because he is an all-star starter most of the years and an all-star caliber player most of the years. But he's one of the best hitters in the league. And I don't think he gets enough credit for that.
Yeah. Early in the season, I was like, yeah, Freddie Freeman's the best player of all time, which is of course an exaggeration, but that just shows you how much you love Freddie because he is consistent. And just doesn't, I mean, if there was any questions about, oh, he's 36 now, what's he going to be like no one really says that about Freddie because we all know what we're going to get. He just kicks ass every step of the way. How about this one, though, for you, too? Kyle Gibson, remember your buddy from Philly? Kyle Gibson announces his retirement at the age of 37 after 13 Major League seasons. His big little notable thing, he was a 2021 All-Star. Other than that, 7 years in Minnesota, a couple in Texas and Philly, a couple in Baltimore, one in St. Louis. that was kind of his path. Bit of a journeyman over the course of his career, but he was that All-Star in 2021. Same year he gets dealt to Philly at the deadline. And then he was a part of the 2022 Philly run. I think he was coming out of the bullpen a little bit. So I don't know if you love Gibson, hate Gibson, indifferent.
I'm indifferent because I knew what I was getting when Gibson came. You know what I mean? We weren't getting like a stud or anything like that, but it was just like a guy who's going to eat some innings. Basically, that's all. A lot of what happens is with these deadline talks with a lot of Phillies players is they go back in their past and they pick out the one best season they had, and they're like, "Yeah, this is what this guy's going to be." It's what's happening with Cedric Mullins right now. They're like, "This is what this guy's going to be," and I'm like, "No, the guy's hitting 211 right now. He's not that player anymore." That's what a lot of Phillies, like Philly guys do.
We're getting an all-star. A guy who was an all-star 5 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was like when Soto came and everybody was like, "Oh, he was an all-star." And I was like, "Well, guess what? Everybody's got to make an all-star team from one player from the team, and he was on the Tigers." So you take it with a grain of salt. He is what he was. Pitched 2 years, had a good little career. How many years is that? 9, 11, 13. 14-year career. That's pretty impressive.
Yes, I think some of those are like half-year bullshit.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Trade deadline Philly, but Baseball Reference counts it as 2. So I think it's like 13 full Major League seasons, which is respectable. That's enough to get you one of those golden passes. Have you ever heard about that?
Yeah.
You're like 10 years in the show, MLB gives you like a golden pass.
You can get into anywhere but the playoff games. No playoff games.
Oh, you can
no.
Yeah, it's pretty much any game, anytime, except for playoff game. That's MLB, I guess. Treating your 10-year veterans to only the good stuff. Only the best. But hey, he got one. He got one 3 fucking years ago or whatever. So
good for Gibson.
That's a little about that. How about AUSL? Because listen, when there's no baseball going on last night, I did tune into the late night AUSL game. I think it started at 9:30. It actually but it actually came on after the Freddie Freeman documentary. So I was just fucking around and watching that. But listen, we haven't talked to AUSL, and listen, I have kind of been off my AUSL game. But the Talons are 16-4. They lead the way. I'm a Bandits guy. I've been on the Bandits 12-7. Volt 6-13. Blaze 5-15. I don't know what else there's to talk about AUSL because I haven't been watching it. But the postseason starts on July 26th, which will be a 3-game series on ESPN and ESPN2. That's what that looks like. So whatever. I'll probably tune into the championship, especially if the Bandits are in. I feel like the Talons already clinched. And I don't know
I don't know how many games they play throughout the year. But I like the idea of like when it's your first season, a shortened season. You know what I mean? You want to test the waters and everything like that. You don't want to have these girls going out there playing 100 games. Yeah. So like have a shortened season. See what you guys got to do if you can expand next year. I think it's pretty cool.
I think if I don't know how the Bandits haven't clinched yet. I mean, the other two teams are pretty far under 500, but I feel like they've been selling out. They're doing like tour style because no one has a home right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they've been selling out. That's what I heard. So good for them.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we get into a little bit of disappointing guys real quick?
Yeah. So I just wanted to touch on real quick before we went into the power rankings, talk about a couple guys. So I wanted to start off with your guy, Volpe at short. Hasn't been the best this year. I really thought he was going to take that leap and kind of become kind of a focal point in your guys' offense. And I thought he was going to be better defensively as well. And I don't know if I'm wrong, but we don't want to jump out of our shoes for anything because he's still early. It's only his third year?
It's his third year, yeah.
Third year. So you would like to see that jump, but hey, he's still young. Give him some time. He's also playing for one of the hardest, fan bases and most critical fan bases as well, in the Yankees. But then we're going to go out west with a guy named Willy Adames. Willy Adames took a huge kind of downfall this year. Definitely not the bat they were looking for over there in San Francisco. Also not the glove. The glove work's been very, very, I don't know if he leads the league in errors, but he's definitely high up in errors. So Willy Adames is definitely up top there. And then this one's simple. Every single person on the Braves, the name isn't Ronald Acuna. I guess Matt Olson you could throw in there too, and Austin Riley's been okay. But like this team has been the most disappointing team of the first half, and will go down as the most disappointing team of the year. Bullpen, bad. Starting pitching, up and down. Every single part. Michael Harris, Ozzie Albies, like horrible. Drake Baldwin's been all right, but like he's a rookie, so that's something you get to look forward to. And I guess Verdugo came in and was hot for like 3 games and then sucked for the rest of it. But like, you know, and then also if we're talking about teams, we also got to go with the Rangers lineup as well. Pick and choose. Who do you want in that lineup, and who do you want to say has been a disappointment? I mean, you can take anyone. You can take Seager, who was hurt and came back, didn't look good. Jock Peterson, who was hitless for like the first month. I mean, like Jake Berger
No, he got sent down.
Yeah, he got sent down for a little bit. Jonah Heim started off great, but has been bad as of late. Like they were hoping for him to take that next leap. Marcus Semien. I mean, the list goes on. The list goes on with that team. Wyatt Langford was hot for a little bit. Whatever. But like the Rangers need to bounce back the second half. They've been extremely disappointing in the first. Horrible for them. And then actually the fourth one I'm talking about and the last one I want to talk about is a little just personal to me, and it's Harper. Solely for the fact that I know it's not that he's been horrible, right? But like I know what Bryce Harper can do. Everyone knows what Bryce Harper can do. And he hasn't exactly lived up to it. Granted, he's been struggling with injuries in the first half, and I hope that him resting a little bit here helps him out. But I'm looking for Bryce to shoot out of a freaking rocket in this second half because he can be that kind of player. We've seen it in the past. We've seen him have one of the best second half of baseballs we've ever seen before. And I know he can do it again. And I know Bryce wants to do it. You can see how much he cares when he's out on the field. He's pissed if he's playing bad. He wants to win so badly. He wants to be that player for Philly. And I think he would even say he had a disappointing first half as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was going to ask you who you think is most inclined to figure it out come second half or like, shoot out second half. And I think you answered it with Bryce. And if that is your answer, I agree.
Yeah, it's 100% Bryce.
Yeah, I agree. I think when you if you pick these apart like this, I think Bryce is the most inclined to go nuts in the second half. The biggest shockers on the list, I think, would be like teams like the Braves and Rangers. We expected more out of them. The thing that I'm not as shocked about is Adames. Maybe I'm shocked that he's like super like playing the way he is. Like, it's this bad. But I did sense a regression year out of him. So I'm not totally shocked, but maybe I didn't think it'd be this bad. And then Volpe is super disappointing because I'm with you. I thought year 3 Volpe would take that next leap. He has yet to do that.
So like there's a lot of other players because people are like, if we post this or they're listening or they're watching, they're going to be like, there's a lot of other players you could put on here. And yes, there is. Like you could talk about
up in the comments, list them.
Yeah. I mean, you could talk about like some of the Royals lineup as well, or anybody on the Guardians. Or you can talk about like a Sandy Alcantara even. But like the reason I didn't put them on there is because in the beginning of the season, I didn't have that much of high hopes for them to begin with. That's why it's not so shocking to see them be that bad. Maybe some more of the Royals hitters maybe that I could throw on there. But like I some of these other guys, it wasn't so shocking. I mean, maybe you could talk about like Adley Rutschman with the Orioles. I was shocked by him, but I know you're not the biggest Adley fan as well. But that's why I left I kept it kind of small because I was really shocked by all the players I put on there.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we really wanted to go, plus disappointed can mean so many different things. Like, what are the levels of disappointing? Like, J-Rod could be disappointing right now. And
100%.
All-star team. Like, so it's like there's levels to it, but I think you have like a good 5 here, and every team is going to have somebody. So it's like we could be here all day talking about this.
Exactly, yeah.
But if anyone has them out there in the comments, sound off, and maybe we'll touch on them someday and get more in depth. Especially if your favorite player is pissing you off, here's a spot to vent. But from kind of the ugly to the good and the bad, correct?
Yeah.
We go to our power rankings, some good, some bad. Some rank high, and rightfully so. Some rank low, and because they stink. Do you want to start with yours?
Yeah, do we want to go like I'll list off my 30 to 25, then you list off your 30 to 25, and we'll do it in 5s?
We could go to 5s, or actually go by 10s. I already have it on the screen, and everyone
by
can
10s.
See it.
Okay, gotcha.
So like you're 30 to fucking 21.
Got it.
And that's kind of like your bottom tier of teams. It's the whole thing's on the screen. I kind of fucked it up that way, but
no, that's good. All right,
you can go one by one here.
So these are the stinkers. If we're talking the tier, this is the bottom of it. Obviously, the basement dwellers. Number 30, Rockies. 29, White Sox. 28, Nationals. I feel like those three are pretty self-explanatory. I don't really have to talk much about that. Then we get to Pittsburgh, A's, and this is where I think I'm going to differ from a lot of people. I have Cleveland at 25. People are probably going to want them a little bit higher. They do have how many wins? They have a lot more wins than some of these other people above them. 46 wins. But I just don't I think the Guardians are going to suck even more in the second half. That's why I have them at 25. Then we get to the Braves, Marlins, Orioles, Angels. So I had the Braves at 24, Marlins at 23, Orioles at 22, and Angels at 21. The reason I had the Angels above all those guys is because I just think that they've had a better season so far. Orioles have obviously been extremely disappointing. Marlins have been slightly better than the Braves, and the Braves have just sucked. So, I mean, I guess if you want to get into reasoning, that's kind of why.
Yeah, we could compare them too at a certain point. I'll go up with my bottom 10, but like before I list them, like I think we have to kind of put out like what metrics you're going off of. Like if we just went by top or like the power rankings right now, which it is right now, but it's not so much just looking at records because then also our list would be the same.
Yeah, exactly.
If you just go by win percentage. So it has to be a little bit of like right now, but there's also like who's inclined to climb. That was a little bit for me. That's how I looked at it.
I did as well when I was looking at that.
And who looks good on like what teams look on paper. And I did kind of peep strength of schedule to kind of if that was a difference maker for me. So it's kind of like all things considered. Mostly right now, but then who can climb and who looks good on paper. That's kind of how I look. So I think our bottom two are the same. I have one that compares them. Okay, here we go. So our bottom two are the same with Rockies, White Sox, 30, 29 in that order. I then have the Pirate. Oh, I'm sorry. I do. I then have the Pirates after that where you had Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Washington has a little bit more going for them, so I put them a little bit higher. Pirates, I don't really fucking know, man. Besides schemes, I'm just like it's a big gap to the next best player. So I put the Pirates at third last. Then I put the A's right there. They have some work to get done. I did put the Nationals there then at what is that 25? Oh, sorry, 26.
26, yeah.
Yeah, we're at 26. I did put the Washington Nationals at 26 then because, I thought there was just a little bit more going for them. I know they had a bad first half, but I can see them still being bad, but turning it around maybe before the A's do at least. I think they're much more complete than the A's, which isn't saying much, but that's where I stand. Then I have Miami, a little bit of a spunky team. To them, Baltimore, they look good, and they didn't look good, but they looked better before the break. So maybe they're trending in a decent direction. Plus, it's not like they don't have the pieces, but they just stink. Then I have Cleveland. Then I have Atlanta because I think maybe they could do a little something. And then here's a team that you didn't have in your bottom tier that I have in my bottom tier, and that's Minnesota. Fuck you, Minnesota. And they might be in second place right now, right? They might be in second place right now.
Yeah, so that's why I put them a little bit higher because I was because they were in second place. You know what I mean? Like I gave them a little more slack, cut them a little more slack, I guess you could say. What was I just gonna say? Oh, so the reason I put the Orioles above the Marlins and the Braves was that I believe they had a little bit more juice to them, and they had a little bit more working for them. You know what I mean?
The Orioles ahead of them. Yeah. Ahead of the Marlins. Okay, yeah. I had them ahead of the Marlins, but I did have the Braves like 2 spots ahead of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I also hate Minnesota. I just think there's no spunk. I just think there's no spunk with Minnesota. So that's why they're in my bottom tier, although they're 2 games under 500. And they're right. I have them in front of the Braves, who are 11 games under 500. We're 42 and 53. But again, part of it is also looking at them on paper and anticipating them to do something. And if you look at strength of schedule, I don't even know if this will help my case, but where do the Braves? Yeah, not bad. Actually, the Twins have one of the easiest strength of schedules moving forward. So I did use that a little bit. I didn't really dwell on that, but just in terms of who's inclined to climb and who can have a good second half. Again, this is more right now than it is second half shit. But I'm trying to take everything into consideration. I think there's a little more spunk with Atlanta, so I did have them, more. I had them at 22, where they actually probably should be, worse. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I look at them on paper and I'm like, yeah, fuck. I give them. I think they could, if they play the cards right. Like I know we've been saying it all year, but I think they have a little more spunk than a team like Cleveland. I think Cleveland's miserable. I think Atlanta could at least somewhat turn it around and on a high note, still miss the playoffs though.
I mean, both of us had Atlanta in front of Cleveland. And that was solely because their lineup is good, and I think they are poised to have a little bit more juice, like you said, than some of these other teams. But yeah, all right. I'll get into what do you want to do? 20 to
11.
11. Okay. So we go Royals, Twins, which you have the Twins in your bottom tier, and you give Kansas City a little bit more credit. I like that. Okay. Diamondbacks, Rangers, which I'm now thinking about that, and I might flip-flop that, but I'm not gonna. I'm sticking to what I thought. I'm sticking to it. Reds, St. Louis, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Padres, and then we go to the San Francisco Giants to round out and go in 11. So with this, Kansas City at the back end, because they've been a little rough. You get the Twins in front of them strictly because they are ahead of them in the standings right now. That's why I went with that. The reason I say I could intertwine Arizona and the Rangers is because, like, we talked about how good Arizona's offense is. Their pitching is just terrible. But then on the Rangers side of things, their pitching is unbelievable, but their offense is just bad. Two good teams that have two good rosters that should be, doing a whole lot more. That's why I say they're a little bit interchangeable. So it doesn't matter. You could put them, you could kind of change that. Then we get to a pair of Central teams. The reasons I have them so kind of like a little bit far back, you get St. Louis and Cincinnati. Once again, two kind of different sides of the same coin. We get Cincinnati, who's got an unbelievable pitching staff, right? We know they're going to be good for a long time. Offense is a little up in the air, while St. Louis is a little bit more well-rounded. They also have a better record right now, so that's why I gave St. Louis the edge over Cincinnati and some of these other teams. But then I got Tampa Bay in front of both of them. Tampa Bay had a horrible, horrible end to the second half. That's why they're not even higher right now, because Tampa Bay kind of started to fall, got swept by the Red Sox, didn't have a great end to it. But listen, can never count them out. Kevin Cash, great manager, got some young guys out there, some scrappy pitchers as well. So you can't really keep them out of the equation. That's why I got Tampa Bay at my 14. Seattle, I'm sitting at 13. Seattle's pitching staff, once again, is great. Brian Wu, all-star, deserved to be there. Great fastball. And then you got the MVP, big dumper behind the dish over there, just competing with Judge for MVP races. So you got to give them credit. But what's the rest of the team going to do? Will they make a move at the deadline? What's going to happen with the Mariners? Then we get to Padres. I put the Padres behind San Francisco, mainly a little bit with the credit to you, because I don't know what the Padres' future looked like. Manny Machado playing unbelievable. Tatis is still there. I need the role players to do it, and I don't know if their pitching staff is going to hold up. You know what I mean? I don't know. Plus, they're a trash organization. San Diego ain't doing great. And then we get into number 11 is the Giants. Giants, Buster Posey's going to make a move. No doubt in my mind. I put nothing, but I believe with their record and with how their second half is going to look, I'm going to go with the Giants at number 11.
I like it. And again, we're similar. Let me rip mine and then I'll give you my case. So I had the Angels coming in at, where are we at? 21? I should have put fucking numbers next to it. It's easy to forget. I did them in like tiers. Anyway, I had the
20 spin.
Yes, sorry. Okay, I had the Angels at 20. So right there, pretty still bottom, but I did give them a little upper edge over like a team like Minnesota, for example. So there's the Angels. Then I go to the Diamondbacks. I wish I could put them higher. I like them, but there's that. As well as Kansas City right there. So you had Kansas City, at 20? I had them inside the top 20. I just fucking like them. Okay, then I mean, we talked about it last time. Though, when you got an all-star from your representing your starting rotation, an all-star representing your bullpen, two all-stars from your offense, like pretty well-rounded club, and
Yeah.
and then all the supporting cast members come into play. Like it's a well-rounded club. They just have to get their shit together. So I do have them within the top 20 for that reason. I think they can kick it, take off in the fucking second half. Okay, then I go to Cincinnati. Texas, which actually marks my first under 500, or I should say that's my highest ranked under 500 team, is Texas.
Gotcha.
Right there at 16. Then I go to St. Louis, to Seattle, Tampa Bay, San Fran, San Diego. This is where do we differ here?
So we can start at the top. You gave the edge to San Diego over the Giants.
Yeah.
Why is that?
And I shouldn't have, because I hate San Diego. I just look at the standings right now. Part of it is also where things stack up right now. I mean, who do I have climbing? And when it's all said and done, I can see them flip-flopping. But where things stack up right now, San Diego, they're in the same division. They're kind of similar in terms of division and maybe who they play. I just assume the teams in the same division probably see teams like the Dodgers a lot, and they probably see each other a lot, and they're kind of neck and neck. So I think you could flip a coin on who you put 11 and 12, but I do think that's where they are. I don't think either of those teams are quite top 10 right now. I think either of those teams could go into the top 10 when it's all said and done, and I hope it's the Giants, because I hate the Padres, but I do give the Padres a slight upper edge right now, especially when you look at offenses. I mean, how many? I mean, now the Giants have the pitching. We saw two all-star pitching, two all-star starters from the Giants, plus a reliever. Their bullpen might be better right now. But we've seen good things out of the Padres' pen, and they had an all-star out of their pen. But they've also had a few all-stars from their, Tatis and Machado representing their starting lineup. So they have more spunk there. If you're going to make the argument that you lean the Giants because you think their starting pitching is better and that's what's going to prevail down the stretch, I can get behind that. But also, let's not forget, Michael King comes back at a certain point. He'll do wonders for that starting rotation. And I'm not big on Pivetta or Cease, so I can see them, not really getting their shit together and staying where you have them, kind of, behind the Giants. Mm-hmm. But where things stack up right now, I think I'm going to lean. To me, that's going to be the thing I'm going to look at first, is where things stack up now. And then if it kind of gets close, then I have to find some difference makers. Like what they look like on paper or who can climb. Maybe the Giants are more inclined to climb, but where things stack up right now, it's the Padres. So it's close. It's a toss-up. But
because both of us, it's like we're one or two off with this one. We don't really have many. Like you had the Twins in the bottom. I had them in the second tier. You gave the Angels kind of that nod where I didn't. I guess that would really be the only differing team we had when it comes to tier-wise. Yeah. They're mix and match and stuff like that, but we're like one or two off, I guess you could say.
And here's another thing, too, with Tampa Bay and Seattle. Yeah, you give a slight upper edge to Seattle. I respect it. I go Tampa Bay, just a cunt hair in front of Seattle. And the reason is similar to how I usually view the Padres, except for this case, I gave them the upper edge. But how I usually view the Padres is similar to Seattle. I mean, how could you ever bet on these teams? They stink.
Yeah.
So a team like Tampa Bay, who has been in the World Series, granted it was a shortened season, but listen, someone had to get there. And they've won. They've done a good a fair share of winning, and are always in the picture, especially with Kevin Cash. It's the same thing this season. How can you count them out? A team like Seattle, I'm comfortable counting them out. I'm very content with counting Seattle out because I don't even think they've been to a World Series in the history of their franchise, let alone have been to one this decade with the same manager like Tampa Bay. So I'm more inclined to keep Tampa Bay in, count Seattle out. But they're still neck and neck. But again, for that reason, I'll go Tampa Bay before I go to them. I like how you have St. Louis and Cincy neck and neck. I think that's more fair. I separate them by showing some love to Texas, which is at number 16. I have Texas, which like I said, that marks my first under 500 team on the board. But I don't hate St. Louis and Cincy neck and neck like that. I do think they're pretty close. I wish I could show Tito a little bit of love and not have them behind an under 500 Texas team. But listen, I got to show Bochy some love and kind of put him somewhere up there.
So yeah, each of the teams I have in my second tier, I think you could flip flop no matter what. Like I think you could interchange them. You could turn like Kansas City Twins could change them for me. Like I believe you could put Kansas City in front of the Twins. I give Twins the edge because of the record. Arizona and Texas, I think they're very similar teams, just on different ends. It's like they have one part of their team is head and shoulders above the other part. You know what I mean? So I feel like you could interchange those. Both have had disappointing seasons. Same thing with St. Louis and Cincinnati. I believe you can interchange them as well. And then like just as you go, it goes on and goes on and goes on. Those could be interchangeable. I wouldn't move them too far. Wouldn't move them too far at all. But I like kind of where my second tier sits at right now.
All right, let's get into the top tier, 10 through 1. And we have the same top 10.
We do have the same top 10, which is good. Just
not in the same order.
Spots.
Yeah, not in the same. Yeah, different spots.
So 10 goes to the Red Sox, 9 goes to the Mets, 8 goes to the Bombers, 7 goes to the Brewers, 6 goes to the Jays, 5 goes to the Phils, 4 to the Cubs, 3 to the Dodgers, 2 to the Astros, and 1 to the Tigers, the Detroit Tigers. I guess I can run through real quick. 10, Red Sox made the top 10 strictly because of how they ended the second half. They look dangerous. Young team, plays fearless now, finally kind of figuring out who they are. One thing that worries me and keeps them at 10 and might push them back is their starting pitching. If they don't, they got to go get a starting pitcher. Maybe a Joe Ryan.
People saying that.
Maybe a Joe Ryan.
Is that what the streets are saying?
I don't know. It'd be awesome because the Twins are a shit organization. So let's bring them over to the Red Sox, baby. 9, I put the Mets. Now, am I hating a little bit? Yeah, I'll give it to you. They're only a half game back in the Phillies, and Juan Soto looks like Juan Soto again. So yeah, a little bit. But pitching's a big question mark. Edwin Diaz also blew a save in the All-Star game, so fuck him. Play your trumpet somewhere else, bitch. Then we get to 8. We get to the Yankees. Reason I have the Yanks at 8 is because I do believe there's a lot of question marks. Same with a lot of these other teams, though. They do have the MVP right now. You can touch a little bit more on their starting pitching. I don't know how confident you are in that. I think there's some bigger holes in the lineup than you guys would like, but that's where I kind of rank them. Number 7, the Brew Crew, baby. The Brewers. I've been on them all year, and I will take that with me the whole entire time I go. The Brew Crew. Freddie Peralta looks good. Murzarovsky looks good. Chad Patrick also looks good. Starting pitching's kind of finding itself a little bit. You got 2 guys in the back of that bullpen who are poised and are ready. You can give them the ball and you can be confident in it. Lineup's a little shaky, though. They have good guys. They hit situationally. Would love to see another bat at the deadline to make that lineup a little bit more complete. But, beggars can't be choosers. And now we get to, all the first place teams. So I basically ranked it in, I wanted to give my top 6, all of them to be first place teams. And then I kind of went and ranked them by who I think was best to worst. So that's why I got the Blue Jays at 6. I think Blue Jays are the worst first place team right now. Want to give them some love, though. They had a great end to the first half of the year. They had a fantastic end. Springer played like an all-star. Their pitching kind of found itself a little bit there. So wanted to give them some love. Phillies at number 5. I think we both have them at 5, but I'll let you get into that. Don't mean to spoil it for you. But the Phils have a lot of question marks as well. We all know their bullpen's horrible. Their lineup looks good right now. They've had a lot of guys who have sneaky good seasons. Granted, situational hitting isn't the best, but we'll get there. And I think Bryce Harper's poised to have a great second half, hopefully. Starting pitching also, can't say enough about it. That 3-headed monster of Suarez, Sanchez, Wheeler, you're getting Nola back. Hopefully Nola looks a little bit better as well. And Luzardo's a great 5-man to have. So can't say enough about the starting pitching. Can't say enough about Wheeler, Cy Young Wheeler as well. Cubs, best offense in baseball, number 4. Only reason they're not higher is because their pitching worries me a whole lot. 3, Dodgers. Reason I got the Dodgers at 3 is not any discredit to the Dodgers. I just want to give a lot of credit to my number 2 team, the Houston Astros, because I am scared so much of the Houston Astros. I'm so glad the Phillies aren't an AL team because I would hate to play the Astros in the playoffs. They terrify me. But then number one, best team all year, it seems like the Detroit Tigers. Got to give them love. Really self-explanatory. Nah, you don't really got to say a whole lot about them. They have been the best team this year.
Yeah, I like that you gave Houston that. I had Houston at 3 ahead of the Cubs, the Cubs have a better record than Houston. So I thought I was like taking a little jump there and being like, the Cubs have the better record currently, but Houston's dangerous as fuck. So I did put them, and you actually put them higher. So I do think they deserve to be top 3 in some way, shape, or form. And they're not 1. So where do you put them, 2 or 3? And we kind of touched on both ways. But here is at 10, I also have Boston. They were super hot to end the first half. They are young. Now, they have a lot of momentum in the second half. The only thing, now, if you want to be a piece of shit, and I am, the only thing I would say about Boston is, remember the last time they had momentum entering a certain chunk of the season was in the spring training. They had a lot of momentum entering the regular season, and they didn't come out very good. Now they end the second half, a lot of momentum entering they end the first half with a lot of momentum entering the second half. Let's see if they take advantage of it this time. So only time will tell, but Boston really hot right now. They're very similar record to the Yankees. Yankees just a tick above, but they have to be a top 10 team right now. Are they the only third place team in the top 10? Yes, they are, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Okay, so and they deserve it, I guess. So fuck them. Then I have the Yankees there. Yankees, Red Sox, like I said, similar records. They actually have the same amount of wins. Boston just has 2 more losses. Yankees do have some holes. They did not end the first half where they wanted it. They get exposed against good teams. This is nothing new. If you've been following the Yankees for a while, then you know it's the same shit, different smell. Same shit, different year. They get exposed by good teams. Sometimes they'll struggle against good pitching. I think you saw the Cubs series. I mean, this is just the most recent example. They end the first half against the Cubs at home, by the way. This is in the Bronx. And then they look good on Friday. Then they run into Matthew Boyd and Imanaga over the weekend, and they end up losing the series. So that's a typical Yankee series for you when you have a first place, good Cubbies team, and you see some good pitching. Good luck. So they're not complete. They're nowhere near where they should be. Maybe the trade deadline, they could touch some things up. Maybe they get some second half magic. That's what you have to be anticipating if you're a Yankees fan. And that's why they are at the bottom half of the top 10. Still a top 10 team, though. Then I have Toronto. So how about I start the first tier or the top 10 talking about the AL East for a second, because I do have the first place Blue Jays right there. Ahead of the Blue Jays, though, it's not so much a diss at the Blue Jays as it is so much as being like, yeah, I think the Mets are more complete moving forward. I think a team like Milwaukee's more complete moving forward. Those are my next 2.
That's very fair. That's fair.
And so that's what I look at. And I know that Mets and Milwaukee, who I have at 7 and 6 respectively, which is a little ahead of Toronto, and Toronto's the first place team. Mets and Milwaukee both second place teams. I just look at it like, how does an Addison Barger look at in a full season? I don't fucking know. And I don't hate Toronto's pitching staff. I actually don't think they get enough credit. There was no Toronto Blue Jays pitching, representing in the All-Star game. I don't even think there was bullpen representing. But not that Hoffman can't get the job done. Maybe they have like another dude in that pen, Yimi Garcia or whoever. Like, I don't know if these guys' numbers or ERAs are gonna like blow you out of the water, but they can do their job, and they have been doing their job more times than not. That's why they have the record that they have. So it's not so much me shitting on Toronto. It's just me not really knowing what the fuck you're going to get out of a lot of these supporting cast guys moving forward. And I think with like guys like Springer, Bichette, Guerrero, yes, we can expect big things. Yeah, maybe they get Santander back and he figures it out. Fine, but is that enough to stay at first place when, look, you have the Yankees and Red Sox literally right behind you? So I just more question marks there. Where a team like the Mets only a half game behind the Phillies. So yes, I want to hate on the Mets a little bit more, but they're very complete. Now, I'd be concerned with their pitching moving forward. I've been very vocal about that. I don't know how well these arms that they have can really eat up innings. I don't know if they have innings eaters, but maybe Manaea comes back and he answers some questions. Diaz, fuck you. We already talked about that. I agree with you. And then I think, you look at their offense, 1 through 5, I think can kind of give it to you. Nimmo's having a good year. He hasn't been getting talked about. Nimmo's having a good year. You got to give credit there. They had 2 All-Stars with Pete and Lindor. Then there's Soto, and then whoever the fuck else you want to mention. They're not afraid to spend money, so expect them to do something at the deadline. Then I do have the Brewers right there. I do have the Brewers. And I know you love Milwaukee, but I got them a tick above you, and maybe this is the time. Maybe, you've kind of convinced me where that, I should show a little more love to Milwaukee, because every year I shit on them, and every year they prove me wrong. Maybe this is the year I finally get my head out of my ass. And if they are going to do something at the deadline, like an Adolis Garcia, would be a great little touch. I think it would be good for all parties. Texas needs to do something. Adolis needs to change the scenery, and Milwaukee is in that position to pounce. It's good for all parties. If they do that, listen, this is a team. I know they don't typically do well in October, but look at the way they play baseball. Look at the way they win ball games. Scrappy, putting pressure on teams, yada, yada, yada. That's, a glove don't go through slumps. It's that style of play, which actually is kind of good for October baseball. Like, sometimes the Phillies and Yankees scare the shit out of you with the way that they play. It's like, if good pitching is going to keep you in the yard, how are you going to score runs? Well, I think Milwaukee scores runs in various different ways, and if they can address like a power hitter or some guy, like that could be dangerous. But we'll have to see it to believe it. Until then, they're still behind the Phils, because the Phils are a first-place team, and the Phils are the real deal. Now, they have to figure it out the second half. We all know the Phillies look good on paper, but is it ever going to be good enough until you get the championship? Pretty much no, because if not now, then when? So the Phillies have to figure it out, but they are top 5. I thought they could have had more All-Stars. They could have had more All-Stars represented from the starting pitching. So if you look at the Phils and just say they had 2 All-Stars this year, that doesn't do them justice. It could have been 3, so that's a really good staff. We'll see Luzardo today while we're at the game. And then they could have had Trey Turner there, fine, but the offense does have to still figure it out. Bohm, people shit on him. His numbers don't look bad. Maybe he's just kind of a snotty-nosed kid. Maybe he's one of those. But, kind of like the kid that complains and shit. But, like, it kind of can be like a little snot-nosed Eric Cartman at times. But numbers don't look bad. Bryce, we talked about him. I think he's very inclined to get this team going. He might go yard today. I mean, fucking Bryce, you never know with him. He's an animal. But so they're still in the top 5, but ahead of them, and we have the same teams ahead of the Phillies. So both have the Phillies at 5 with the Cubs right there. I have Houston before LA. You have LA before Houston, and then there's Detroit. So I think that's how the top 5 looks, and however you want to shape it is how you shape it. But I think that's what it should look like.
Yeah. So the first one I want to talk about is we'll talk about the Brewers, because I've obviously been high on them the whole entire year. I've been trying to like will them for our 10 viewers that watch us for a little bit to get to the point where they're at kind of now. They are poised and ready, I think, to finally make a run in the postseason. Granted, like you said, they need a little bit more help in the power department, but they finally kind of have the pitching in that rotation for a playoff series. I've never in the past, like they've always had Peralta, right? I keep on forgetting about Quintana too, because he's been decent for them this year as well. So like they've been a little bit of a complete team. Granted, yeah, their top 10 hardest schedules coming up here, so that will be interesting to see. While the Cubs are 30th, so it's going to be hard. But I think the Brewers are more looking for a wild card than they are to win the division in a sense. I like what they're sitting at with the Brewers. Can you go back to the other graphic real quick?
Our power rankings?
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, Nasty Nestor Cortez set to return on like the 25th of the month.
Oh, is he really? I didn't know that.
For Milwaukee, that is, yeah.
All right, nice. All right, and then we can talk a little bit about the Mets, because you made a point about the Blue Jays as well that I think you can also make with the Mets. Like, how does Clay Holmes hold up the whole entire year? We don't know. We don't know how that's going to look. Can Kodai stay healthy? We don't know. So, but they've done it in the past where they've sat Kodai for a good amount of time just to get him back in the playoffs, which is smart on their behalf. Like, we want you to rest because we know we're going to be there in October. So we need you come October kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, if the Mets do anything right, they do that right. They're kind of looking forward, and that lineup is scary, especially when you have Nimmo having the season that he's having. He's had a very good season so far. Soto's now picking it up. Pete's been a damn good player as well. And Lindor's going to do Lindor things. if they can get some life out of Mark Vientos, I mean, watch out. That's scary. You know, if Vientos goes back to how he was playing in October, I mean, Vientos was like, he were terrified every time he came up to the plate in October last year. So those are the two I wanted to touch on. The Red Sox being in the top 10 is also because, I mean, we were talking about it, and I guess a lot of people were too. Everybody knew all it took was one run from the Red Sox. That's all it took. If they could get hot for a little bit, then they would put themselves back in the conversation. And that's exactly what they did. And they did it in a bigger way than I think a lot of people thought they were gonna. But this is a young team. So you got to take the good with the bad when you got a young team like they do. But they're fun to watch. They play a good brand of baseball now, kind of with a little reckless abandon. Like, hey, nobody really expects a whole lot out of us. Let's go prove some people wrong. So I think they're a scary team in the second half.
Yeah, I think so too. We'll see if they do what they do at the deadline, because they will have to do something right at the deadline.
Pitching. They need pitching. You need pitching. Available. That's got to be number one on your list, because you got to give Joe Ryan some love.
Yeah, so you're high on Joe. I like that. I mean, Joe Ryan's been my guy for a while, and so I'm very happy that I've been a Joe Ryan advocate for years, and I love that he was an All-Star this year. He's rightfully deserved. But like you said with the Mets, big contributions from the supporting guys, Vientos in particular, would be huge for them. We saw those guys have good second halves last year, so let's just see how they trend. I'm worried about, if I'm the Mets, I might be a little worried about pitching moving forward. But listen, they're not afraid to spend money, so that could help them.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, where do they look real quick? Because before we get to our upcoming weekend shit, that's not what I want. Where do they look on their 12th hardest in remaining strength of schedule? Phillies are a little behind them at 14.
Yeah. Well, I think I think this is going to seesaw the whole rest of the second half between the Phillies and the Mets.
Yeah,
I think it's going to go 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and then they probably. I wonder when they play next. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I bet you, because they normally play a series in September.
They'll have to play before. Ooh.
They will play, but they play a 4-game series in September. That series is going to be insane. I think it's going to be absolutely nuts. And
where is it?
I think it's in Philly. Oh, it's in Philly. Oh, we'll be there. We'll be there for that one.
What day is it in September?
It's the 8th through the 11th.
I was going to try to sing that Earth, Wind, Fire song. Do you remember? What day is that? The 21st night of?
Yeah, 21st. They play the D-backs that night. But anyway, it's going to seesaw the whole entire year between the Mets and the Phillies. I don't know if there's going to be many other. Like, I think the East standings will flip around, but I don't think it's going to be a seesaw. I think that's going to be kind of a mix of a lot of different teams. I mean, maybe I don't really see the Cubs and the Brewers seesawing that much. I mean, the Brewers are only 1 game back, so who knows? I like, obviously I like the Brewers roster, but goddamn, the Cubs are good. But I think the NL East
really
race
haven't had the Cubs have had high peaks and not very low valleys, and there's peaks and valleys to everyone. And we'll see if they start to get cold at a certain point. Maybe Milwaukee has a cup of coffee in first place for a little bit until the Cubs get back at it. But it's tough to see them finishing there.
I mean, dude, the Brewers, nobody's talking about it. Or at least I haven't seen it. They ended on a 7-game win streak.
Yeah.
So you got to give them credit where credit's due, but they do open up at the Dodgers. But the Cubs open up at Boston. Wow, we got some good baseball.
Yeah.
Cubs
Boston's going to be nice. That's going to be so. We'll get into our upcoming matches. I wanted to say really quick, if the main concern of Mets pitching is like, because I've been talking about it, you mentioned it too, like I don't see any big innings eaters. You mentioned Clay Holmes. What does he look like on a full season? We don't know. Kodai Senga, even I love David Peterson. I keep saying this, always like Peterson, but don't know if he's known to be like this big innings eater. He was an All-Star this year. Good for you, David. But my thing is like, if they can take a breather, because no one's on their tail. So if that allows, because if the Braves sucking dick allows them to take exhale a little bit, and Manaea coming back, that's a little nice for Braves for Mets pitching. So there is
true.
Forward. Let's get into our upcoming matchups with our Wet Hot American weekend. You talked about Boston at Chicago. That's going to kick us off today. You guys like day games at Wrigley? Well, here you go. 2:20 kicks off the second half of the season.
All right, give me 1 sec here. Let me pull it up. All right, here we go. Yeah, Boston at Chicago. Starting off bright and early, 2:20 game. Giolito versus Colin Ray on MLB Network. On the network, actually. We'll just call it the network. That's how we do over here. Brian Bello versus Shota Imanaga. And then you got Crochet versus TBD on Sunday. So, Boston, that's a little shaky. You're starting off with your top two, going against Colin Ray and Shota Imanaga. But then you got your ace on Sunday. Boston's hot. But so you did bring something up earlier where they were hot. You had a lot of momentum coming out of spring training. It's spring training. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot different than the All-Star break, I would say. I want to give a little bit more credit to Boston. This is a monster series, awesome series. But I do think Chicago wins this. I'm going to go Chicago wins the first two, and then Crochet brings it home on Sunday for Boston.
Nice. So it's tough. This is tough. I want to take the Cubs winning the series, but since you took the Cubs, I'll feel more comfortable doing something different. That way we have conflicting takes. I mean, I have Boston. I'll take Boston tonight. Giolito, daytime Giolito. Giolito's been really good. Giolito hasn't been getting talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Giolito's been really good this year. I mean, maybe if he doesn't get banged up and he looked like this all season, he would have been fucking made a good case to be an all-star. Then I will take Imanaga. That game will be on Fox on Saturday. I'll take Imanaga there, and then I'll take Crochet on Sunday. So I got Boston, Chicago, Boston with the rubber match. And yeah, like you said, we'll see. I think Boston is. I don't know if they necessarily. They did have a little bit of an identity entering the start of the season, but it is a different thing now that it's not the beginning of the season. It's not coming out of spring training. It's now. You kind of know who you are. Things are hot. Now you cruise into the second half. I think they might come out strong. I think there's more signs of slowing down from the Cubs. Not slowing down so much, but more signs of, like I said, the Cubs have had high peaks and not very low valleys. If the start of the second half is kind of like the Cubs maybe being like, oh, we lose a series or, shit like that, then fine. They do have a really easy strength of schedule. So if they lose this series, I think they can very well get back to their winning ways. But I could see Boston continuing this momentum and then having a little bit more maybe urgency or having a little bit more chip on their shoulders because they've been counted out and they've been under 500 this year. So I think I'll take Boston to win this series to open up the second half.
I like that. And I've been big on Boston, but Chicago's lineup is just awesome. Next, we'll go to a not-so-great series, White Sox versus Pirates. Got Jonathan Cannon, Hauser. Yeah, I know. Cannon versus Hauser and Savali, and then Falter, Burrows, and Heaney on the Pittsburgh side of things. They're in the Steel City. I think Pittsburgh wins this. I'll go with Falter and Heaney win it, and Burrows drops it.
Nice. So you got what? Pittsburgh, White Sox, and then Pittsburgh on Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I actually picked up Bailey Falter in like 2 or 3 of my fantasy leagues, so I like that streamer tonight. I'll have to roll with Bailey. I'll also roll with Adrian for that day. Hauser's been really fucking good. He could have been a fucking all-star for the White Sox, but you're going to show love to Shane Smith or fucking – plus Hauser didn't start the year on the club or he was hurt or some shit. So either way, fuck it. And then, you know what? I'll agree with you on this one. We conflicted on the first one. I'll do the same exact thing you did here. I like Andrew Heaney on Sunday against this team. Heaney, at a certain point, might have been a streamer. He's cooled down. Doesn't look that great. He looks like Andrew Heaney these days.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a time he looked like a top-of-the-line guy for Pittsburgh standards. Now he's like a middle to back-end guy for Pittsburgh standards. But maybe a good start, raises his trade stock. He gets the fucking hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's really hoping for him to pitch well, not just so they can improve their record, just so they can get him the fuck out of there and get something back for him.
Yeah,
I mean that's how a lot of these teams feel probably.
Because I think we'll see Sandy coming up.
Exactly, and he's the same way.
It's the same.
He's the same exact way. Like they don't want him so they climb the rankings. They want him so they can get the fuck rid of him.
Yeah,
and then we'll get to the Angels at Phillies. Angels are not sure who they're throwing at all. Maybe it has something. I don't know why. I mean, the game starts in 7 hours, so they still don't know
they
whether
they do know. They just are.
Yeah.
They just don't.
But
Well,
then
no,
we're getting Luzardo, Walker,
the
and
website doesn't
Suarez.
know. The website doesn't know.
Yeah, the
You know
website
who it
doesn't
is?
know.
It's Kikuchi tonight. I think maybe
That'd
not.
be awesome. That'd be nice if we got Kikuchi tonight and we're
Well,
going to the game.
yeah, pair of lefties. Kikuchi was an all-star. I don't know if it is. No, maybe it's not Kikuchi. Who the fuck knows? I can't find it.
Whatever. But we get Luzardo, Walker, and Suarez this series. So Taiwan Walker he's coming back to the starting rotation with Mick Abel getting sent back down. Keep an eye out here for Painter. Keep an eye out. See what they want to do with him in the second half. Maybe a spot start somewhere. I don't know if he'll get completely brought up, but maybe a spot start somewhere. Give the guy a little credit. But I think it's a Phillies come out strong, sweep the series against the Angels. Bryce Harper goes nuclear this series right now, today. I mean, I'm putting money on him to go yard tonight. I'm putting money on him to go yard tonight.
I love that. And maybe Rojas gets a start and goes yard too. Hey, who knows? Second half heroes are a thing, man.
I know, but also, I think Luzardo get his feet wet against. I mean, listen, the Angels have a good lineup. We can't really discredit that. That not good, but they have a better lineup than just a sucky team. You know what I mean?
They'll compete,
but
yeah.
Let Luzardo get his feet wet again, and hopefully he can be as he started the first half of the year.
I agree. A good opportunity for Luzardo. It's a good competitive Angels, a better competitive Angels. Like you said, they will compete. It's not great. It's not perfect, but they'll compete 1 through 9 in that order, and they have some guys to show for. But they are under 500. So it'll be a good test for Luzardo to open up the second half. How about – so who did you take? I'm sorry.
Phillies are sweeping.
Oh, no, shit. Let's go. Let's go. I love that. We don't even know who the Angels are throwing. Now, the Angels' biggest concern is their pitching. I think that's what their biggest holes are, where maybe some of the Phillies are rolling out a decent 3, but the Phillies always, for every series, they roll out a good 3. So Luzardo and Walker, interesting, but we love Ranger that day. Little Sunday day game at the bank. How they go wearing their cream jerseys, Sunday day game for Ranger pitchers. So we're definitely going with that.
An underrated jersey. Jersey.
I know. It's a great jersey. Maybe fuck. You know what we're getting tonight on a home night game? We're getting the City Connect.
No.
So the Angels tonight. They're wearing City Connects. They're wearing fucking their puke color City Connects.
Damn it.
But then tomorrow, Saturday, they'll be wearing the pinstripes again, and they can't lose 2 in a row to the Angels. We'll take Taiwan to maybe pitch all right. Maybe it'll be somewhat of a bullpen game, but that's fine. Or maybe it's not, but maybe he just doesn't go that deep. 4 or 5 innings at a Walker. I don't know. But I think he'll pitch all right. And we'll take that when they're in there. Because I'm just totally – the Phillies – to me, have fantastic jerseys, except for the City Connects. So I'm just going to judge it. Are you Googling to see if they are?
No, they definitely are.
Okay, so I'm just going to totally speculate on what jerseys they're wearing and judge them based on what my guesses are. So if City Connects tonight, they lose normal crisp pinstripes. Tomorrow they win, and then day game creams with Ranger on the mound. I think yes. That's what I'm going with right there.
All right. Next, we'll go to San Diego at Washington.
The only game I have them losing is the game that will be in attendance.
And I really hope that doesn't go like that. But
hey, we'll see Trout. If Trout goes yard, that'd be cool.
That would be cool. Cease versus Soroka, Darvish versus Parker, and then Pivetta versus Gore. So once again, Washington. Disappointing first half, fired, their GM, president of baseball operations, whatever you want to call him, and then their coach didn't really change any tune. Still kind of sucked after they fired him. San Diego looking to have a good one. I think they definitely win this series. It's kind of a toss up. I'm gonna have Cease and Darvish. And then winning. So San Diego. And then I'm going to go with the Nationals on Sunday. Now, we got to remember, this is the Juan Soto trade game. C.J. Abrams, James Woods, Mackenzie Gore, Hassel, will be there as well. So, I mean, you got to take that into account that these guys want to come out and kill it. I just don't think Washington has the firepower. Let San Diego come out hot. They win 2 out of 3.
Yeah, San Diego, I'm with you 100% of the way with the same team, same days. I just don't think San Diego sweeps. Washington is at home, and they do have their ace on Sunday. So tall order to ask for a sweep if you're San Diego. Not impossible, though, because Washington does stink. But I will trust Mackenzie Gore on that day. But the other 2 days, yes, Friday, Saturday, San Diego will take the first 2. This is tonight we'll see Mike Soroka. And San Diego, come out with a chip on your shoulders because we do know how competitive and how tight that division is. They end the first half in second place. If they want to maintain ground, and maybe I don't know if they're currently in a playoff spot, I would assume they are. I don't know if 3 teams out of the maybe they're not. What does the playoff picture look like? The wild card shit.
Damn it! I just closed it.
I have it coming up right now. They are in it. So as of right now, only 2. So as of right now, 2 teams from the West are in it, and I can see that being the case. Just because you look at, you have to respect what the Cubbies and the Mets and the Phillies are all doing, and the Brewers. So if only 2 teams from the West make it, it's going to be the top 2 teams, and then that means either San Diego or San Fran, whoever finishes in third, might not be a playoff team. So San Diego has to come out the gate hot with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder because they surpassed San Fran, who was kind of the big dogs for first couple months. Now San Diego had their ups and downs, but they finished the first half ahead of them in the standings. If they want to maintain that, because they got them on their ass, they got the Giants on their ass. This is a really good series, and the Giants, we'll get to them next. They have a tough series. They're in Toronto. That's a harder series for them. So San Diego has to take advantage of this and try to make it more difficult for San Fran. Start to spread that gap a little bit. So I agree with you. Cease tonight over Mike Soroka, and then Darvish looking to get his first win of the season on Saturday. I think it'll be his 3rd start, and I like that. It's a good start for him. Fuck it. It's the last place Washington team. Are they last place, right?
Yeah, they're still last place. Yeah,
last place Washington team. So really good opportunity for Darvish to get his first win of the season. I'll be looking forward to that. And then we talked about Mackenzie Gore, tall order to sweep a team at home with their ace on the mound. So I think they'll take it. But San Diego, 2 out of 3, I agree.
So a lot of credit to what you just said. I mean, giving credit to what you just said. Same goes for San Francisco, though, who we're going to talk about now. San Francisco traveling to Canada. Verlander versus Bassett, TBD versus Eric Lauer, and TBD versus Barrios, which is on Roku. Great. 12:05 start time. God damn it, I hate Canada. But the San Francisco needs to come out of the gate hot too, and they have a taller order than what San Francisco has because they're facing the first place Blue Jays. And once again, listen, like a lot of Blue Jays fans thought Hoffman should have been an all-star. A lot of Blue Jays fans thought Springer should have been an all-star. Like
I agree with.
Huh?
I agree with the Springer.
I don't agree with the Hoffman. The Hoffman's ERA was too high. Granted, he has a lot of saves, but he'd still have to look at ERA. Springer should have been, though. Bassett, Verlander. It all depends on who they throw Saturday and Sunday. Like if Webb's on the bump or like Robbie Ray's on the bump, then I'm going to go with San Francisco to win this series. But we don't know right now.
Nobody knows because it's like the probables just aren't out. At least not that I can see. Maybe on a certain website. Like the probables, I haven't been able to find them because everything's got fucked up because of the break. So we just have to use our judgment here.
So I'm going to guess that at least one of them pitches, Ray or Webb. And that's why I'm going to have San Francisco. No. Yeah, you know what? Give me Verlander. Give me Verlander tonight.
Love that.
Going to see his good buddy, Scherzer. I think they're top 2 in active leaders for strikeouts right now. Verlander and Scherzer.
They got to be. And actually, he's going against his former Mets teammate, Chris Bassett, also.
True.
I think. Were they teammates on the Mets?
I don't know.
That's a trivia question for the people at home. Yes or no? Sound off. I'll Google it in the meantime.
But then we get to so give me San Francisco 2 out of 3. I'm going to go with San Francisco wins on Friday, and then they win on Saturday, and then the Sunday they get it done with Jose Barrios on the bump. Toronto gets it done.
Okay, so San Fran 2 out of 3. Take the first 2.
Yeah.
Toronto to avoid a sweep. Verlander was a Met for like part of 2023. Was Bassett? Oh, Bassett was probably gone by then. Fuck. Bassett was gone. So they were never teammates, but he will be seeing his good old pal Scherzer. And although they're not facing off and we won't see Scherzer in the series, you bet your sweet ass all the broadcasts are talking about it. And why not, though? They are two living legends, so that's a storyline. That's cute to see. Verlander, we talked about Darvish trying to get his first win of the season. He's on his third start. I mean, Verlander's on his whatever number start. He's 0-7, so he's looking for his first win of the season, his first win as a member of the Giants. Does he do it tonight? I don't think so. I think Toronto and Chris Bassett are going to – Bassett's a stud, man. Verlander could pitch well, and I hope he does. But I think Toronto, as much as – when we talked about this the other day, that San Fran is kind of the team on the outside looking in to make a push, and we think that they have the most complete lineup out of the other teams on the outside looking in. However, I think Toronto's offense right now is just a little bit more electric than San Fran. San Fran has not to say they can't figure it out, but until they do, I like Toronto tonight. I'll go with that guy by the name of TBD, though, on Saturday, because I think San Fran is too good of a team to lose the first two. I think they will make this a rubber match and make this an interesting series. Then we have a guy by the name of TBD on Sunday. I thought you needed 5 days of rest. This TBD dude seems to be going every day. But then Berrios has been very reliable. That's a Roku game, so I don't think anyone's going to even watch Toronto in this series. I'll take them to do it and stay hot.
I like that. I just think Weber Ray is going to throw at some point, and they might even throw both days. So
we have a disadvantage not knowing exactly, and plus we're so far. We're predicting games 3 days in fucking advance, so we're always at a disadvantage when we do these things. That's why we stink so bad. We're coming off a very bad. Actually, I think we came off a very bad Friday. You were made up for it the next 2 days and got like around over 50%.
Yeah,
I got my ass ate and never could by a shark basically, and I couldn't swim away. I just got devoured.
You just kept munching.
I just kept munching every single day of last time we did it. So we're looking to bounce back here. Okay.
All right. Well, we'll go to the next series. Cincinnati at the Mets. Could be a good one. Sean Manaea, he throws cross body. He's making his second start, I think. And then they have Holmes and Peterson, while the Cincinnati's got Lodolo, Martinez, and Abbott going. Give me Lodolo tonight.
Nice.
Holmes on Saturday. And I'm going to be a hater. Andrew Abbott on Sunday.
Well, you got to go Abbott, baby. He's a stud.
Yeah.
I hope Abbott can continue what he looked like in the first half. He was an all-star, and he deserved it. I hope he can continue that into the second half because we're all rooting for Andrew Abbott. I kind of want to agree with you. I don't want to see the Mets win. Now, this is at Queens. This is the Harrison Bader series. Perhaps the Todd Frazier series. He was a Met, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Okay. So that's fun. Two fun guys. That's why it can make for a fun series. I want to see Cincinnati come out the gate strong. It's going to be tough to do. That's Peterson and Abbott on Sunday, a pair of all-stars, both of whom are left-handed. We're going to also roll with, as much as I like Peterson, I like Abbott more, and he also doesn't play on the Mets, so that helps his case. I'll take him there. I'm going to work backwards a little bit. Nick Martinez I don't hate him. He's proven to give you good outings this year, but Clay Holmes has just been more reliable. I'll probably have to agree with you there. And then when in doubt, let's take the Mets to lose. I want to see the Mets lose 2 out of 3, especially if we have the Phillies winning their series. Love to see the Phillies win the series at home, which I think they're going to do, and I love to see the Mets lose the series at home. I just don't see it. I think it's Friday night in Queens. Manaea might be all juiced up. I'll take the Mets tonight. Mets to win the first 2, and then Abbott to get the boys back on track, put the team on his back, and avoid a sweep, basically.
All right, yeah. We've differed a lot today. So one of us is going to suck really bad, and one of us is going to be pretty damn good.
And there's always a chance that we could both stink, too.
Yeah. Kansas City at Miami. Kansas City's not sure who they're throwing at all this week. I think what's happening with a lot of these team spin is the They're waiting to see who's going to throw the first game for them to announce the next two.
They have to get the rotation back in order, and I think the teams probably have it. It's just not known to the public yet because the All-Star game fucked everything up. Because usually you can anticipate the probables. Right now, it's like, who do you roll with now that everyone is basically available for the most part?
And then you get to Alcantara, Quantrill, and Junk. It's so hard to predict because I want to say Sandy Alcantara sucks and he's going to continue to suck. But what if he comes out and finds out, oh, I want to get traded, so let me not suck.
Yeah, I could be a Cub in like a month.
Or maybe he doesn't. Or maybe he doesn't want to leave Miami and he just continues to suck.
I like it here. My kids go to school here. I don't even know if he has kids, but
give me Kansas City on Friday. Cal Quantrill, the Canadian, gets it done on Saturday, though.
Crazy. I like that.
And then Sunday, give me Kansas City again.
Miami, sometimes you got to take a little more seriously.
I know.
At least I do, because I've been kind of shitting on them, and they could be spunky. They are a third-place team, let's not forget. So is Kansas City. Now, granted, different third-place teams. They're different. They're different third-place teams. But they both are third-place teams, I believe, right now. I'm going to take Kansas City. And I'm going to say Kansas City gets – I think that would put them over 500. Or maybe at 500. That would put them at 500, and they start the second half with a sweep on the road against the Miami team, who isn't really dog shit. I mean, they're very bad. But they aren't like a team that's just going to roll over and die this year. Like, they can compete with you. They can be spunky, and they can kind of be a thorn in your side. They can be spoilers down the road for teams. But I think Kansas City comes out hot. I think Kansas City is the real deal. So they have to prove it. Let's go, Kansas City. Now is your time.
Kansas City was 7-3 in their last 10 right before the break. So
keep it going.
Then we get to a stinker of a series, A's Guardians. This sucks.
Oh, timeout. Sorry. Really quick. I just dropped Jack Caglione in fantasy in my one league. So that's how you know now he's going to go off.
Yeah, true.
As soon as you drop a guy, they have a day. So I put money on Caglione to go yard today, to be honest with you.
Then we get stinker series, A's in Cleveland. Sears versus Ciccone, Severino versus Allen, Springs versus Williams. Of course, these teams know who they're throwing every single day because they both suck. Like, it's just, I don't know.
They didn't have to worry about any of their pitchers going to the All-Star game, so the rotation doesn't miss a blink.
Like, this is such a toss-up. Like, both these teams are just bad. Give me Guardians 2 out of 3, and then give me Ciccone, Slade, and Williams.
Okay, so Cleveland, A's, Cleveland.
And then maybe Severino can get it done. I don't know.
Yeah, Severino's been fucking awful this year.
He's been horrible.
But Cleveland is the home team, so not crazy to think that they win the series. They also have a little bit something to fight for because I think the AL wildcard is kind of wide open for like 5-6 seeds.
They're 4.5 games back right now.
So it's like it's not totally out of it where the A's are it's a little bit more rigorous for them to like little, and they're not mathematically eliminated, but like holy shit, it would take a miracle for them. Cleveland, it wouldn't be as, like I said, rigorous, but still a lot of work to be done. And they are the home team, and they got a bad A's team to start it off against. I'll probably agree with you. Kind of want to believe in Slade Ciccone. This is the Stephen Vogt series, though. I don't think he ever played for Cleveland, but he manages them currently, and he did play for the A's. So we'll go Stephen Vogt. Maybe he did play for Cleveland. I don't fucking know. Just trying to buy time because this is probably one of the harder ones. It's like, who do you go? So I guess when in doubt, go with the home team winning. But I don't want to agree with you. I want to be different. You know what? I don't hate Logan Allen. This is what I'm going to do. I would take JP Sears tonight.
Ew.
Hey, listen, I don't hate former Yanks. And then I don't hate Logan Allen. I don't hate Gavin Williams. I think at the beginning of the season, I thought more highly of them. I don't think they're having the seasons that they want to have, but I think that they can get it done against a bad A's team that doesn't have good. Like if they stack up against Severino and Springs, that Springs could shove. We've seen it, but not that consistent. I think maybe these guys at home can do it. So A's tonight, Cleveland next 2.
All right, we'll take that. Then we get to your boys traveling to Atlanta.
The Andrew Jones series.
Yanks aren't sure who they're throwing at all. And then Strider's on the bump tonight. And then Atlanta's not sure who they're throwing. So a whole lot of question marks. So what I'm going to go with is just who's the better team. Give me a Yankees sweep.
Nice for the Mark Teixeira series.
Give them to me.
Great. So for the Brian McCann series, I can go all day with the Yankees shit. As long as it's the next one's Baltimore, Tampa Bay, I can't think of it. Well, I guess Nelson Cruz, but it's not a long list. If you go throw the Yankees, I'll fucking keep ripping. I'll just fucking riff. Okay, so for the Robinson Cano series, wasn't he a Brave for a little bit?
I don't think so. Was he?
No, I forget. Maybe I think he kind of might have been. The Melky Cabrera series, though, if you will. I would love to see the Yankees sweep Strider tonight at home. It'd be like Strider would be like his best game of his life, probably. The Yankees sometimes get exposed against good pitching. Do you consider Strider to be a good pitcher? Maybe at times he is. We've seen glimpses this year. I don't know who's pitching these games. I like to think the Yankees can come out and do something, and then fucking. The Yankees can never just win a series well, so I'm just going to kind of roll with the Yankees trend where they'll win the first game and then they'll probably like lose the second game, make things interesting, then ultimately get it done on Sunday. So Yankees, Braves, Yankees.
All right. And then we get to Baltimore and Tampa Bay. Charlie Morton versus Taj Bradley, Dean Kremer versus Zach Littell, and Trevor Rogers versus Ryan Pepiot. Tampa Bay needs to bounce back. Tampa Bay needs to win 2 of these games, at least. They had a horrible end to their first half. And then Baltimore, I guess, had a better end to their first half. I'm not sure a whole lot. But Taj Bradley's been like all over the place. Give me Baltimore wins tonight with Morton. Maybe Charlie Morton shows a little bit less of sucky Charlie Morton, a little bit better. Give me Littell and Pepiot.
Nice. Yeah, I think now Baltimore has been more competitive towards like the last few weeks, maybe just the end of June, July, what we've seen thus far. It hasn't been a big sample size of them looking good, but they have been looking better in recent memory. So I think they could put up a little bit of a fight, but how could you ever count out Tampa Bay? You just can't. So, and what Tampa Bay is at home, we're their makeshift home for now. I'll roll with Taj tonight. I was actually going to pick him up in a fantasy league, but then I kind of got scared because Baltimore's been playing better. But I will take Taj and the boys. Kremer, I thought, looked decent last time. I don't hate Tampa Bay pitching. I really don't. I could. Okay, fine. If there's one guy I'm going to bet against in the Tampa Bay, out of the 3 Tampa Bay starters we're seeing, it'll probably be Zach Littell, and I don't hate him, but I think we're going to have to roll with Dean Kremer because I don't think Tampa Bay sweeps, but I do think Pepiot is a beast, and I'll have to roll with him on Sunday.
They really throw him all around, don't they? With Pep, like sometimes he's a reliever, sometimes he's starting games. Like
maybe now they've been doing that with Rasmussen lately.
Yeah,
like he's like been an opener. So like they do shit. They do some real herky jerky shit over there.
It seems to work out for him.
Yeah, it does.
So what'd you take? You took 2 out of 3 Tampa Bay or Baltimore?
No, 2 out of 3 Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay tonight and Sunday.
Okay. All right. Guess what? We wanted Texas to have a good start to the second half. Well, guess what? They got to do it to get the best team in baseball. Number 1 are both of our power rankings. Detroit's going to Texas. Reese Olson versus Patrick Corbin. TBD versus Kumar Rocker. And then Sunday, battle of some aces. Tariq Skubal versus Nathan Eovaldi. That's going to be an awesome game.
And that's the Sunday night game on ESPN. And good job. They got this one right because that is a great matchup. And now they don't know that who's pitching when they make the schedule, but they just know Texas, Detroit, and Texas, and we got blessed with a great pitching duel.
That's awesome. I think, wow, Kumar hasn't looked that good this year. Patrick Corbin, I know in the beginning of the year, I was like, wow, Patrick Corbin stinks. But guess what? Fun fact about Patrick Corbin is he actually sucks. And then
well, it was funny. Well, we were both on him that he stinks, and he was pitching well. And then we were like, oh, this guy's he's been pitching well. And then I think he started to stink.
Exactly. So maybe Reese Olson, I think will get it done.
I want to see how Patrick Corbin looks recently, though. 4.15 ERA on the season.
Yeah, give me Reese Olson on Friday. And then, I don't know, like Kumar Rocker's been so up and down. but I don't think Detroit sweeps this series. So yeah, give me Kumar to win on Saturday. Kumar Rocker.
Texas is home, by the way, so
Give me Kumar Rocker on Saturday. And then I think Tariq Skubal. I can't bet against Tariq Skubal. I can't find it in me to bet against him.
I think part of the reason he's just so fucking good, it doesn't matter who you throw his way, right? Like,
yeah,
he'll
exactly.
take care of business against Eovaldi, even though Eovaldi very well could have been an all-star this year too. He got a little banged up, but Eovaldi's numbers are off the chart. Doesn't fucking
Did you
matter.
see they're paying him? They're paying Eovaldi.
Oh, like they did with Christopher Sanchez.
Yeah, they're paying him. It's $100K. They're paying it out.
Good for him, because Eovaldi deserved it. I mean, well, he could have been an all-star. He was on our snubs list, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter who you throw their way. Even if Texas offense has the best series of their life, they'll run into Tariq Skubal. You know what I mean? Like, Tariq Skubal will humble you. So Texas could actually get up to the hottest start. They can come out the second half and crush to put up 12 runs tonight, put up fucking 7 runs tomorrow, and then they'll run into Skubal, and then they'll go back and crawl back into their shell, and then they'll just be cold the rest of it. Like, that's the Skubal effect. He will murder somebody. So I would never bet against Tariq either. And I think I like Reese. It's tough to disagree with you. Maybe Texas says to themselves, and Bochy really fires them up, and they say, "Hey, Reese Olson, you're this young fucking guy. We got to pounce on him. Hey, Patrick Corbin, you're this veteran guy. How about you go show someone who's boss? How about you fucking you're at home? How about the offense scores early and often?" And maybe Bochy lights a fire under these guys. So you know what? I'll be optimistic on that and say Texas takes the first game of the Ivan Rodriguez series. Then I'll have to go with how did Detroit start? And so they ended on a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah, they didn't end great.
So maybe we'll do a little 5-game losing streak from Detroit. Maybe that'll go all the way to a 6-game losing streak for Detroit. As Kumar, maybe he doesn't necessarily get it done, but the team wins that day. Maybe they start to figure some shit out. Then they'll run into Tariq. You're not going to count him out. So he's also a guy, if you're going to go on a 6-game losing streak, Tariq's the guy who's going to set you back. They won't look back for too long, but there's peaks and valleys to every team. You know, if they lose the last 4 and then the first 2, the last 4 of the first half, the first 2 of the second half, it doesn't really feel like a 6-game losing streak, but it would be a 6-game losing streak. And then they just wouldn't look back, and they'll continue to get back to their winning ways. But that would just be an interesting little valley to their otherwise very good season.
And you could up that to 7 if you conclude the All-Star game, because boy, did they suck in the All-Star game.
That's true. That's true. They carried their 4-game losing streak to them to Atlanta that day. That's true.
And next we get to Minnesota at Colorado. I don't really have much to say about this at all. Like Chris Paddock, and then they're not sure. They're throwing them Freeland, Santozela, and Marquez.
Yeah, unless Joe Ryan pitches.
Yeah, give me Minnesota sweeping. Like I don't care. Actually, you know what? German Marquez, he wins a game.
Yeah, I was gonna have a little fun with it and just say maybe the Rockies win one of these. And also out of spite for Minnesota. Remember, Minnesota was their second place team, but not a good team. But I actually had them in my 3rd tier of teams. I think you had them at the tail end of your 2nd tier, right?
Yes, legitimately the last team in my 2nd tier.
They might have been the first team in my 3rd tier.
Yeah.
But either way, they're bad. And I want to see Kansas City climb, and that's going to start with them surpassing Minnesota in the standings. So let's go Colorado, I guess. And it will be at Coors Field. Paddock hasn't been bad this year. I'll roll with him, and, fuck it. Maybe he's been bad, but there was times he was good. Let's go with Antonio Sensatella just because he seems Italian, and we're going to go with that on Saturday. And then German Marquez. See, everyone on Colorado basically leads the league in losses. Do you ever see these guys win-loss records?
Yeah.
They're 2 and 11 or whatever. But I can't see Colorado winning a series. I think Minnesota wins the series, but they don't sweep. Fuck it. And I don't even know. Is that the Justin Morneau series? Did he play for Minnesota?
Yeah, Justin Morneau. Yeah, he played for Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, that's where he's known as.
Yeah,
no shit. Yeah. I remember him as a Rocky, but not a Twin. That's pretty embarrassing. But
it's pretty impressive, not embarrassing. I think that's impressive.
Yeah, he was a Rocky. He might have won Did he win a batting? Now, here's the real question: did he win a batting title as a Rocky?
No, it was as a Twin, I think.
I think it was either as a Pirate or a Rocky. when he won his batting title. He won his MVP as a Twin, but his batting title was as a Rocky in 2014. Let's
Wow.
go. There you go.
Some big brain knowledge there, Spin.
There you go. There's a little Justin Morneau talk for it, but that is a Justin Morneau series. So that's like our midway, Wet Hot American midway trivia. We're a little bit past midway, but that's MLB for you, right? If they call the little bit past the halfway point, half, whatever.
All right, St. Louis and Arizona. Palante is the only one anybody knows who's they're throwing for this. I want to say Arizona. Normally, when you're going into the desert, I wanted to say Arizona wins 2 out of 3, but I just don't agree with it. I'm going to go St. Louis wins 2 out of 3, and go ahead and pick it because I don't know who's throwing it all. So I can't even give the upper hand to either of these teams. I'll go for Saturday, Sunday. The St. Louis wins. Arizona wins tonight.
Okay, gotcha. I don't even know what to call this series. Arizona, St. Louis. Who the fuck knows? I can't think, but who cares? This all we know about the series is Andre Palante tonight versus TBD. Saturday, we don't know, but it's on Fox, so that could be crazy. And then Sunday, we don't know, but I'm just gonna I'm gonna start with the fact that Saturday's game's on Fox, and Arizona plays some crazy games sometimes.
Oh, dude, this is an easy one. I can't for who played for both teams. Think about it.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me finish my thought really quick. I'll try to keep that in the back of my head. But I'll start with the fact that Saturday's on Fox, and Arizona does play some wild games. They tend to blow games in their pen. They play close games. They can maybe come back offensively, but then blow games late. So I think that being on Fox, you might see something like that. So I'm going to take St. Louis to kind of have that one of those late game comebacks, and Arizona continues their what they've been doing all year. Don't tell me, by the way, that player is. Then I will maybe take Arizona to maybe get out to a hot start tonight. But listen, and then you know what? I'll take Arizona to win the series. No. I got to stick with what I've always said. Never bet against the Cardinals. So Arizona tonight, they'll come out the gate hot. They'll maybe look good Saturday also, but then blow the game late. And then St. Louis on Sunday will take the series. They'll have momentum after that walk or that late game win, and then they'll take 2 out of 3 in the desert. Sorry, Arizona, but you've given me no choice but to bet against you. You know what I mean? So anyway, so St. Louis, Arizona, you're talking about? There's an obvious guy?
Yeah, very obvious.
What is he more known as?
Could be either. Probably. Could really be either.
Can't believe I'm blanking on a...
He played a corner position. Plays a corner position. He's not on either of the teams right now.
What team is he currently on? Is this going to give it away?
Yeah, it's going to really... It will give it away right away.
Well, I'm totally blanking.
He's on the Yankees.
Oh, that's the culture.
Yeah.
That's stupid. That's stupid. I was thinking like so intricate. Like there's probably some random middle infielder, but yeah. Fuck the Goldschmidt series. Yeah. Always fun. He's probably like, yeah.
Who do you think he would be more known as?
A Diamondback probably. Though he did
win
he won an MVP in St. Louis, but
that's what I'm saying.
He made a more of a name for himself as a Diamondback, and he just played more. He just played there longer and came up through them, so he'd be known as them. But yes, he's definitely beloved in St. Louis for his MVP shit.
Mm-hmm. All right, then we get Houston at Seattle. Interesting series. Brandon Walter versus Luis Castillo, McCullers versus Evans, and then Valdez versus TBD. Houston, they scare the shit out of me. Seattle doesn't. Logan Evans, back up. Is that who we were talking about?
I feel like he did pitch before the break, and I thought he pitched all right. I remember talking about him in as he's like a cool little scrappy young dude. His last start was on the 9th of the month. Unless my thing has. Do you see that too? Unless I have to restart my fucking page because sometimes that happens to me. But yeah, I guess he would have got
on the 9th.
No. So that would have been his. He wouldn't have been.
He's been spotty. He's only played 5 games this year. He was on the 21st of May and the 27th of May and then the 10th of June. And then he was 3rd and 9th of July. So
wait, he's only started to 5 games?
Yeah.
Because his innings were there. Logan Evans. He had 50 innings, I thought.
Yeah, it's 6, 8, 5, 5.5, and 4.5. That doesn't add up to 50.
No,
Does it?
he's had 9 starts that I'm seeing.
Okay, all right.
But I think he has gone up and down a little bit. I think he got sent. This might be his 3rd start since getting called back up. I think,
Okay.
unless he got a little bit banged up, which I don't know.
I
Is the
mean,
case.
he is young.
I don't
He's
follow.
24.
It would make more sense if maybe they sent him down, brought him back up when some of their pitching came off the IL. But I don't follow enough Seattle fucking guys. I certainly don't follow what's his name, Logan Evans enough to fucking know his story. But this will be his 3rd start since I guess coming back. Whatever.
Give me
And he's Saturday.
I'm gonna have Seattle go win tonight with Luis Castillo on the bump, but then I'm gonna take McCullers and Valdez on Saturday, Sunday for the Astros to take the series.
Yeah, it's tough to not think that Houston's going to totally kick ass because what else do they don't do anything except kick ass.
Yeah.
But Seattle is at home. They want to continue to stay afloat in this division. Kind of, stay in the conversation of a wild card spot. And they are at home with Luis Castillo. I'm not the biggest Luis Castillo fan. He's been pretty good this year, though. He's pretty good all in all. But I will take him tonight, however. And I might have to agree with you. We got it's Lance against Seattle. Lance and Logan on Saturday. Could make for a pretty decent matchup. I think we've seen good and bad from both of them this year. And both teams are going to be competitive, but I just don't think that Houston loses this series because they take care of business. And then it's tough to bet against Framber, and then you throw the same reasoning on for Framber, and I think Houston wins the series. So I have the same exact thing as you: Seattle tonight, but Houston for the next 2.
There we go. Oh wait, you're opposite then?
No, Seattle tonight.
For the Houston next 2. Good. All right. Next, in our final one, we're going to talk about Milwaukee and Chavez Ravine playing the Dodgers. You got Quinn Priester versus Glasnow tonight. They just announced that. So they're not sure who they're throwing Saturday, Sunday, though. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But how many starts is that now for Glasnow after returning?
So he did have one before the break.
How do you look?
I think pretty decent. I think he got a no decision. Did he face Milwaukee? Didn't he just face Milwaukee?
I don't know. Milwaukee played the Dodgers pretty well last time.
I think they swept. I think they swept them.
Yeah,
right. Because the Dodgers were on like a 6-game losing streak.
And dude, they're throwing Quinn Priester, Freddie Peralta, and Jose Quintana versus Kershaw. Shit, I don't even know who this guy is. Emmett Sheehan.
Jeez.
And then Tyler Glasnow. So, damn.
So Glasnow did his first start back was on the 9th at Milwaukee, 5 scoreless, 3 walks, 2 hits, 5 Ks. Not bad. And this is a Brewers team that will work their walks and be scrappy.
Exactly.
And do those little things. They do the little things.
You know what? I'm going to go with Glasnow tonight. I'm going to go with
Judas Priester is going to have his work cut off against that offense.
I know. But I'm going to go with Freddie on Saturday. And then I'm going to go with Kershaw on Sunday. So Dodgers win the series, but I don't necessarily love it, if I'm being honest.
It could be a dogfight. The Dodgers are the better team, and they are home. Not to shit on Milwaukee because they've been damn good.
Yeah,
they were what, a top 6 team in our power. Or for me in my power rankings, you had them at like 7. I had them at like 6.
Yeah. I mean, Quintana, the last time he pitched against the Dodgers, which is in the last series, he went 6 frames, no runs, 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. So not a bad start, but I still think the Dodgers win this series, though.
I think the Dodgers win it too because this isn't a team. They just saw each other somewhat recently, and they saw some of these same pitchers recently. Now, so did the Brewers with Glasnow, but and Kershaw I think pitched in that series because I think Kershaw pitched against Mizorowski.
Yeah.
So they saw some of the similar pitchers. They just saw these guys. Sometimes when you see guys in a kind of a short – now I know he did the All-Star break in between it and maybe a series and then the All-Star break could kind of separate it. But it wasn't all that long ago. It was about 9 days ago where they did see each other, a little over a week. And I think the Dodgers are too good of a team to be like, hey, yeah, we saw these guys. They swept us, by the way, at their place. Now they're coming to our place. And we just saw some of these guys. So let's go out and fucking drag our Schwanzies against their fucking throats. I think the Dodgers are that type of team. Milwaukee is not going to roll over and die, though, either. So I don't want to agree with you, but I want to take the Dodgers 2 out of 3 in a dogfight. Who was Saturday's matchup?
It's Peralta versus Emmett Sheehan.
So that's a guy that no one's ever seen before. Maybe they use that to his advantage. But Peralta's so good. But they know Peralta. No one knows Sheehan. I'm going to use that, and plus that'll be conflicting Saturdays for us. So then someone has to be right. And then what was Sunday? Quintana
versus Kershaw.
Pair of lefties, and it's tough to not go Kershaw at Chavez Ravine. I think the Dodgers, they got swept by them last time. I think the Dodgers sweep them at home this time.
That's ballsy.
And that's how the Dodgers start their second half. They're 3-7 in their last 10 on a 2-game win streak to wrap up the first half. I think they see it. They don't give a shit about that they won the last 2 entering the All-Star break. They don't give a shit about that. They see that they're 3-7 in their last 10. They see that they played Milwaukee recently and got swept. And now they're saying to themselves, well, now you're coming to our place. And we got Glass now tonight. He's 6'8" and has handsome hair. And you know what I mean? And it's like, hey, we might kick your ass, Quinn Judas Priester. Now, is that Quinn with 2 N's? It is.
Yeah, it's Quinn with 2 N's.
Now, is that always how you spell Quinn? Because if that's not, that would make me a little bit more scared of Quinn Priester, the fact that he spells it with 2 N's.
I have no idea.
Well, that's our Wet Hot America weekend. A little look ahead for this weekend's matchups. First little glimpses of baseball, the second half, pretty much since when? Fucking last Sunday?
Yep.
So nice. Let's go Phils tonight because we'll be at the damn game. That'd be fun.
Yes, sir.
And we're gearing up for that. And we'll be live on Assist. If you don't know what Assist is, well, then follow us on TikTok and we'll fucking do it. And then we'll fucking be live streaming. You can enjoy the action with us at the fucking game. So whatever. There's a little bit of that. Anyhow, let's gear up for a good little weekend and get it back going on a Monday after we see how our picks play out.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys back on a Monday for another recap, vibe check. And maybe we'll throw a hard 90s in.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't done one in a while, Stan.
We haven't done a hard 90s. And that wraps it up. Check us out on Spotify, too. We'll be there. Peace. On Face Media.